internets. I'm Michael and this is Toucan Play That Game. So this video is the final video in our series on Machi Koro. So this is going to be my review of the game, so please stay tuned if you want to find out my thoughts on the game. If you're wanting to see how the game plays, then please check my previous video where I did a playthrough of the game, and there's also a link in the description for that, as well as my first video in the series which shows you the rules for the game and how to play. So if you're interested in those, please check that out, and let's get on with my thoughts on the game. So Machi Koro is a really fun game. It is super luck heavy though. It doesn't matter what strategy you go for, if the dice don't come up your numbers, you're not going to get income. It's as simple as that. If the dice aren't in your favour, you're not going to do it. There is some mitigation of the dice in that you can make sure you have lots of different numbers, etc. And that's why I still do like the game. If this was a longer game, I would probably find it too luck reliant to be worth playing for that length of time. It wouldn't feel engaging enough. For the length of game it is absolutely perfect. They've done a great job producing this. Other thoughts I have on this, well, I actually think of this a lot like a Catan light, and I've yet to find anyone who really agrees with me there. But one of the reasons I'm not keen on Catan is because I view that, much like Machi Koro, very heavily reliant on what those dice results are, but it's so much longer of a game. Whereas this is just better. It's simpler, it's easier. Even if you do like Catan, you can use this as an introduction for new players into the whole concept of roll a dice, get income. It works really great. Every time I introduce new people to this game, we play it through once, they're a bit unsure of it maybe, but we finish that game and they're like, oh, I want to play that again. I know what I need to do now. I want to play that again. Everyone, every time. It doesn't even matter how much they like it. Even if they're like, that's a good game, but I don't think I'm going to get it. That they still want to play it a second time, and to me that's a really good sign of a good game. And a better yet sign is, you have fun with this game, even when you don't win. And that's always important. You've got to enjoy playing a game, and it shouldn't be purely based on whether you win or lose. And in Machi Koro, that is the case. You are invested, you enjoy it, no matter what the outcome. Artwork-wise, well, again, I'm not keen on the box. I keep saying this about games at the moment, but I'm not keen on the box artwork. Thankfully, the cards, I'm much happier with the artwork. The quality of the cards is fairly good. I would say if you're going to use this game a lot, do sleeve it. I have seen copies in games cafes that see heavy use, and we're talking probably the equivalent of someone having the game at home 10 years worth of use in the space of a year worth, and they are starting to fade and rub. But if you sleeve it, it should last you your entire lifetime, and you will have fun with this game. It's great for young children, it's so simple to pick up and play. New players, I have yet to find anyone who has not enjoyed this game. I have seen people not be as enamoured with it as I am, but they haven't disliked it. I have yet to find anyone who dislikes it, and it's part of the nature of such a short game that you will not dislike it, because before you've had a chance to dislike it, it's over. You're either going to fall in love with the simplicity of buying cards, the quickness of that play. There's no stressing over the decisions. Every time there's important decisions, but for some reason they're just easy to make. And I find that great. So a big part of what's really fun about this game is at the start of your turn, you're just sat there kind of going, right, I need this money, I want to buy that, I need this money, you know, I want to construct this landmark and I'll win the game. Oh, but they're so close. If I can only roll this number. And then you toss those dice and you're just there, fingers crossed, staring down at the table as they bounce around. And it doesn't really matter what they come up, it's fun. Because you have that excitement, that anticipation of the result. If it comes up the right number, you're like, yes, I've done it! And if it doesn't, it's no! It's fun. Either way, you're going to enjoy that. You're going to enjoy seeing other people have those same reactions, And of course, because of those red buildings and the blue buildings, you know, with the blue buildings, you're watching what every other player does. You're engaged throughout everyone's turns, because you need to know if that number comes up and you've got a blue building for that number to get your income. It's important. And even more so if you've got the red buildings, because you need to take money off your opponent. You know, you can see, oh, they're close to winning. But if they roll this number, even though they've got the gold now, if they roll this number, they're not going to have the gold to build that final landmark. Great fun, super exciting. But despite how many good things I have to say about this game, despite how much I like the game, it is important to note that it's not a perfect game. No game will ever be perfect, and of course you should try it before you buy it, and that is always going to be my rule of thumb. Always try before you buy. My biggest issue with this game, I mean, I've already talked about how it's luck heavy, but the length of play really does mitigate that for me. The biggest issue is the box. You see this box, you think, wow, that's a big game, going to get a lot of game in there. And to be fair, the game is perfectly sized, perfectly priced for the game you get. But then you open the box and you see empty space. Lots of empty space. Ridiculous amounts of empty space. And it's kind of disheartening. So, I mean, it kind of feels like if you're going to have a game that size, just have a box the size that the game is. I've actually seen Machi Koro be repackaged into a card game box that's designed to fit 2 decks of cards, and it fitted perfectly, and that was with the bag of money and everything. We're talking less than a quarter of the size of this box. It's the one thing that really annoys me, but of course that's nothing to do with the production quality or the game itself or the gameplay. It's one thing I of course have not covered. Can 2 play this game? And as the box says, 2 can play this game. Does it make a difference playing with 2 players over the larger player numbers? Yes, it does make a difference. When you have the lower player numbers, so say 2 players, there's less competition there for the cards that are there, especially in that lower ranges of the 1 to 6s. In a 2-player game, you'll find you're not struggling to get those. They're not being bought out by the other players before you've even had a chance to get one of that number. Whereas when you're playing with 4 players, you can easily find that's the case. So it makes it a different game, and potentially I would say it is a better game with more players, but it's still super fun with 2 players. Thanks for watching Toucan play that game. If you have liked my video, then please do check out the rest of my videos, and of course please do subscribe to the channel and share the channel. Get my name out there, share this with other people who you think might like it. And as always,